Good morning. Okay, we are going to work on NF5 and we are doing pages 8, 9, and 10 today. 8, 9, and 10. So here's page 8. Okay, NF5, page 8. And we're going to look at it. This is very similar to what we've done before. It's just subtracting of fractions with denominators of 110. Okay, so remember that we have to change both denominators to 100. So if I put 100 here, I multiplied by 10, multiplied by 10. So it's 80 minus 35 is 45 over 100. So they have 80 colored in. They've taken away 35. And we get 45 left. Okay, here, same thing. Change that to 100, change that to 40, and they have 56 colored in. They're taking away 40 of them, which leaves 16 left. So we're just going to pictorially show it on our grid. So let's go ahead and look at this one. We have 63 out of 100. We need to change this to 100, so we times by 10, times by 10. Okay, so we're going to color in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 3. And then we're going to take away 30. And I'm going to do that in a darker color so we can see. So if I take away that one, and that one, and that one, I'm going to be left with what? 33 out of 100. All right, go ahead and do number 2. I will do it as well, and let's compare answers. Are you ready? Go. Coloring in 78 of those squares. I'm subtracting. So if I have 78 of them colored in, I take away 20 of them, I am left with 58. I think for these two, unless you want to do the model, you can do the model, but you don't have to. Let's just do these equations. I think you probably, hopefully understand the picture. If you want to still color it in, that's fine. So we're going to do number 3. Are you doing number 3 with me? Here we go. Okay, so we multiplied by 10 to get 100, multiplied by 10 to get 40. 49 minus 40 is 9 out of 100. So that'd be 9 colored in there. All right, do number 4. And what is 90 minus 32? 90 minus 32 is what? Can you figure it out? Dun, 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 dun. 58. All right, number 5. Farmer Smith planted 54 hundredths of his field with corn, 2/10 of his field with sweet potatoes, and the rest of his field is planted with rice. Use the model to the right to represent Farmer Smith's field. Okay, so we're going to color in, I wish I had different colors here, but I'm going to color in 54 30, 40, 50. Color in 54 with me, and we'll label it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 54 of 54 hundredths was what? Corn. So I'm going to color in 54 hundredths, and I labeled that with corn. Okay, then it says 2/10 of his field is sweet potatoes. So I'm going to start on the other side, and I know that 2/10 is the same as what? 20 hundredths. And that is sweet potatoes. So I'm going to abbreviate that SP. So there is 20. So this middle section, it says the rest of the field is planted with rice. So this is the part that's planted with rice, is in this middle part. So how much is that? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hundredths is rice. Okay, I know that because that's what's left between the corn and the sweet potatoes. So let's read the question. It says, how much more of Farmer Smith's field is planted with corn than sweet potatoes? Okay, so we're going to compare corn and sweet potatoes. So corn is 54 hundredths, and we're looking for the difference. So we're going to subtract 2/10, which is the same as what? 20 hundredths. So what is 54 minus 20? 54, 44, 34. So 34 out of 100 is the difference between the corn and the sweet potatoes. Now, I think we've already answered this question. What fraction of the field is planted with rice? Well, rice was this leftover part right here, which was 16 out of 100. 16 out of 100. All right, my friends, good job. Turn to the next page. Page number 9. Now, page number 9, I'm going to let you do a lot of this yourself because I know that you know how to do this. Okay, so let's look. It says write the fraction shown by the first model. This is practice of what we've done. Write the fraction shown by the first model, then write an equivalent fraction and prove it by shading in the second model. So I'm going to do this first one, and then you're going to do the second one. All right, so this is 10, 20, or excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10, which is the same as what if you're going to color it in here? Well, that would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 2, 3, 4, 5, 60. So it's the same as 60 hundredths. All right, do this problem. All right, now on this one, it says fill in the missing number. So 90 hundredths, we're going smaller, so we're dividing. Divide by 10 to get 10. What's 90 divided by 10? 9. All right, you're going to finish that row. All right, on this one, you're going to create the denominator of 100, and you're going to add or subtract. So I'm going to times by 10, times by 10. 34 plus 60 is 94 out of 100. Now, on these ones, be careful and double check if it's a subtract or an add problem. Okay? And then on this one, you're going to do the same things, except you're just going to color in the models. So you're going to add and you're going to subtract. All right, so I'm going to leave that one to you to finish. And I am going to help you now on page 10. So go to page 10 with me. or pause the video and do page 9 and then restart the video. All right, here we go. Now, we haven't done decimals yet, and we're going to start decimals tomorrow in NF6. Tomorrow, you're going to start NF6, and we're going to be learning about decimals. So today, I'm just going to kind of give you the answer, talk to you a little bit, and then tomorrow, I'm going to actually teach you about it. Okay, so this first question says, write a decimal and a fraction to represent the shaded part of the model below. Well, the fraction is easy. That is 1, 2, 3. That is 4 out of 10. Okay, that's 4/10. Now, I'm going to show you what the decimal looks like. There are no whole numbers here. These are all parts. They're all broken up into parts. Okay, so there are 0 whole numbers. And then I'm going to put the decimal right there. This first number after the decimal is called the tenths place. So say this fraction with me, 4/10. So our decimal is read the same way. This is the tenths place, so I would write 4, and then I would say the word tenths. So this decimal is 0 whole numbers, and there's my decimal. I say and then I say 4/10. All right, let's look at this. We can do the fraction, 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my fraction is 45 out of 100. Do I have any whole numbers here? Is this whole square filled in? Nope. So I put a 0, and then I put a decimal. And the second decimal place after the decimal is called the hundredths. This is the tenths place. Do you see how I'm putting a THS on the end? Tenths place. And the second one after the decimal is the hundredths place. So say this fraction, 45 hundredths. So my decimal looks like this. And if there are 2 numbers, then I say the word hundredths after it. So my decimal is 45 hundredths, and my fraction is 45 hundredths. All right, let's look at this one. My fraction is 10, 20, 30 out of 100. And my decimal, do I have any whole numbers? Nope, no whole numbers. And I have 30 of them filled in, so I can put it like that. If I have a 0, I can leave that on or off. This is the same as 3/10 or 30 hundredths. All right, let's move on to these. This model shows 6/10. If the model was divided into 100 equal parts, how many parts would be shaded? Well, I know that 60 out of 100 is the same as 6/10. Okay, how about this one? This model shows 20 hundredths. If the model was divided into 10 equal parts, how many parts would be shaded? You guys know this. How many? 2 out of 10. A paperclip weighs 3 1/100ths of an ounce. A centimeter cube weighs 1/10 of an ounce. A magnet weighs 8/10 of an weighs 8/10, and an eraser weighs 12/100ths of an ounce. Which weighs more? So we're going to list these out. So I have 3 out of 100, which is the centimeter cube. I have 1 out, oh no, the paperclip, sorry. I have 1 out of 10, which is the centimeter cube. I have 8 out of 10, which is the magnet, and the eraser is 12 out of 100. So what do you think that is? Which one is the heaviest? Well, I know that if I changed all of these into 100, that would be 80. If I change this to 100, that would be 10. That's already 100, and that's already 100. So which one is the biggest number on top? Right here, which is the magnet. All right, find an equivalent fraction for 5/10 with the denominator of 100. So what does that equal? 50. Do 8 and 9. Ready, go. Did you get him? Did you get him? All right. So 7/10 and 90/100. All right, my friends. Tomorrow you are going to learn about decimals. Lots of decimals, lots of word forms. Okay, get page 9 done. Make sure that you do page 9. Okay? And get your answers down there. All right, my friends. Happy day. Bye.